Okay, friends, this is a chaotic day, and I just was going to clean the kitchen, and I was like, I'm just going to quickly make a video about that. But I decided on one of the busiest days of the week for myself that I was going to make homemade tater tots, and I had gotten that ready. I put them in the Instant Pot. I had a quick workout because I was like, I'm really stressed with work, so I got to do that. I'm going to prioritize. And then I was like, I'm going to come up, make a video of me cleaning the kitchen. Oh shoot, then I also offered to bring snickerdoodle blondies to our church home group tonight. So my husband, God bless him, he cleaned up the kitchen, which is great. I'm not going to film myself loading the dishwasher. I do have some stuff to hand wash. I'm going to also quickly make the blondies. I am going to clean up the rest of the house, so you can join me. We're going to talk about all the things. Did you see that? I dropped some potato on the ground. That was actually harder to pick up than you would think. Okay, so we're going to chat about prioritizing and as I reset my house and get two sort of unexpected things out of the way. Now, this is one of those days where you just did not have enough time and you do have to prioritize some things. So I go to a church home group once a week, and this day they said, oh, we're celebrating this situation. We're going to have appetizers. So I of course want to bring something. So I was like, I'll make a dessert. So I was making these snickerdoodle blondies, which are easy and quick to make. So I was, okay, I'll do that while my hair is drying up in my little towel. And it's easy. It's great. I'm happy to do it. I love to be able to bring something like this. And this is how we prioritize, right? I think that, you have to get like the most important things out of the way. And number one, it comes to taking care of your family and your people first. Now, of course, jobs can come first too. Now, before I go on, I'm at the stage of my life where I can actually feel my face when I am bent over. Like you can feel your face shift forward. This is disconcerting. I don't like this. Anyway, as I dry my hair, I put away my hair things. Just popping in here real quick. If you're enjoying this content, please give a subscribe. If you'd like to see something else, let me know in the comments. If you love this particular thing, let me know. And also a thumbs up is great too. So thank you. Prioritizing, you've got to take care of obviously your children first and your spouse, your husband. But also, I do want to care about other people in my life. I want to take care of the people at my church home group. So that did become a priority. I wanted to make that dessert. So I was glad I chose something quick and easy and I got it out of the way. But another thing that is important to me is taking care of the home. So I knew just by taking just 10 minutes, I could do a bit of a tidy up. And like I mentioned before, my husband, like bless him, he loaded the dishwasher. He turned it on because he had this day off. And we both, are taking care of our health and, exercising and all of the things. So it's a bit easier, a bit more of a balance. I often am watching something while I am working in the kitchen. So I was watching this lovely lady who, unfortunately, her daughter has a brain tumor. It's very sad, but that is something that helps me enjoy doing tasks like a kitchen reset, like hand washing, although it is good to often have time where we are letting our brains have a bit of a rest and having time for thinking. If you don't have time for thinking, I think that's often where a lot of people have trouble sleeping, is they're always occupying their thoughts. They're never allowing themselves to have a moment where there's sort of like blank space, and you can hear from God if you are a Christian, or you can just even just have your own inner thoughts. That's important too. And on a busy, crazy, hectic day, that's probably what I should have been doing instead of watching that podcast. And honestly, it felt chaotic. So I actually think that is what I could have done, but it did feel good. And also, as a lot of you know, I retired from nursing in the spring. I love working from home, and I edit other people's videos and help run their channels because it makes it easier for me to run my own channels and my own business at home. But on this particular day, it was like everything was coming together. So how do you manage it all? I already mentioned, of course, taking care of the family, and taking care of my home group would not be like a top priority. However, it is important to me to go to this, and I love to bring something. So that's great too. Work, of course, is also a priority. And I knew that this particular space was stressing me out. And it was, I had unpacked a box and left the cardboard there. Somebody, like the night before, had just dropped off those tools that were my son's. So it was a matter of like getting stuff cleaned up so that I can feel just happier in the home. I was feeling super duper stressed with the situation, all of the stuff, all of the mess, even just walking in the front door. I talk about this all the time to you guys. When you walk in your door, you don't want to be stressed with what you see. You want to be happy that you're home in your castle, in your abode. Your home should lift you up. Your home should be the place that feels good. So if you come in the very front door and you see, a messy spot, it's going to stress you out. And like all those shoes there, my good friend Lindsay, a lot of you know who she is. She came by the night before picking something up. And I was like, there's just so many shoes. But my husband had just got back from a work trip. So he had like 3 pairs there. So it wasn't really his fault. But it felt good to get this cleaned off. And look at that. Nice and good. And then it was time to just get my homemade tater tots done. Now, this is another way of prioritizing because the family needs to eat. Now, ordinarily, I do have food in the freezer we could cook up. But earlier I was like, I had some leftover salmon. I'm never going to waste something like salmon. So I was like, I want to make these tater tots. I'm going to use my air fryer. And look at that. Ugh. Anyway, so I thought, I was like, these won't take long. And they really didn't take that long. It probably all in all was only maybe half an hour of work. So not a big deal. But again, how to figure out what are the most important things. You just sort of do the most important things first, and then you slowly remove what is unnecessary. So I definitely considered leaving this task for the next day, and I probably could have, but I just did not want to waste the salmon. I was worried, I was like, we got to eat the salmon by today. And I'm looking at the time going, oh my goodness, because I just wanted to have these all ready before I had my call. So a note to yourself, and I am doing a video coming up about planning and planners, is knowing on the days when it's busy, don't make anything like this for dinner. Just make something easy. Have leftovers with fries from the freezer or something. But look at these little babies, all cute. And I did put cornstarch on them and then pop them in the air fryer. I ended up being like, oh no, more of them can fit in there, and look at them cooking up so yummy. Ultimately though, I think the moral of the story, when my kids were little, sometimes we had cereal for dinner, and that's okay. Sometimes you just make do with maybe not the very best option, and that is okay. It is okay to sometimes say no. It would be okay if I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that tonight. And I'm okay with that. So I feel like I prioritize things well, and there was enough room to have a brownie, but I did eat it after dinner. You've seen the tots, but I haven't cooked them yet in this part, just because I have a call in 18 minutes. And I thought, why don't I see if I can get most of this video edited real quick and hopefully get it out tomorrow. And I still have to leave here at just after 6:30. So that gives me half an hour to eat and to actually cook the tots. But I am in the middle of my call going to be like, I'm going off camera and I'm cooking. But I think you're going to really like this video. It is something that hopefully will inspire you as well to continue working. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.